Hi everyone, this is Jenny Owens. Today I'm going to compare the licensure requirements for professional counselors in North Carolina and Texas. I looked at Jordan Shore's video blog and her worksheet, and this is what I found. So for the academic and training requirements, both states are very similar. Both states require the 60-hour master's degree in counseling or related field from an accredited university. Both states listed out the courses that should be included, and they were the same. However, Texas did have one more thing on the list, which was abnormal human behavior. Both states require 300 practicum hours. However, Texas did differentiate that 100 of the hours should be in direct client contact. As far as the post-master's degree supervised internship, both states require 3,000 clock hours. North Carolina, however, requires 2,000 of those hours to be in direct client contact, whereas Texas only requires 1,500 of those hours to be direct client contact. I really appreciated that North Carolina lists out what that supervision looks like and how it should take place by direct observation, co-therapy, audio and video recording, or live supervision. Texas doesn't really tell how the supervision should play out, so I would have to depend on my supervisor or get clarification from the state board. The exams that are required by both states are similar. Both states require their own jurisprudence exam as well as the national counselor's exam. Both states use the same nomenclature of LPC for licensed professional counselor. We get to the way the states tier the license and give them titles. We see a few differences. For North Carolina, we have an LPC-A, which is an associate, whereas Texas lists that as a LPC intern. Both of those need to be supervised. Then we have LPC for both states, which would be a full licensure. But then North Carolina, for the supervisor, has LPCS, whereas Texas does not give a specific license for the supervisor, but does require that they be board certified. The requirements for the supervisors are very similar. As we look at the scope of practice for both states, it was difficult to tell if there's a lot of difference because of just the way they were listed. For example, North Carolina listed things like appraisal, consulting, referral activities, and research, very general. Texas went ahead and listed out all the different kinds of counseling and some of the things that counselors do. I'll just read the list to you so you can get an idea. Individual counseling, group counseling, marriage and couples counseling, family counseling, addictions counseling, rehabilitation counseling, education counseling, career development, sexual issues counseling, referral counseling, psychotherapy, play therapy, hypnotherapy, expressive modalities, biofeedback, assessing and appraising, consulting, and crisis counseling. Also, when in the scope of practice, the things that could not be done, North Carolina really focused on the ethics and ethics violations versus Texas listed out a specific thing in the assessments that could not be done. You cannot assess using a standard projective technique, and you also cannot diagnose physical conditions or disorders in Texas. The other big difference that I saw for the requirements for licensure was the criminal background check. The criminal background check is not required in Texas. However, it is required in North Carolina. So those are the major differences and similarities that I see between the two states, and I hope that was helpful for you today.